while parents and students alike are educated about the dangers of drugs, alcohol, and unsafe sex on college campuses. When drivers cannot find a parking spot, they end up parking outside of the lines, like this car here. If their car is not moved by morning, this results in a $30 parking citation. For some residents living in Zone 1, this is a small price to pay to ensure their safety. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium is usually an exciting, upbeat place, especially during weekends of football season. But in April of 2012, instead of athletic excitement, it was suddenly the scene of heartbreak and tragedy. A skydiving video shows what could be a scientific first. Some schools, like Lincoln Middle School, have found a way to make sure every student is still fed. Put down the cell phones because starting today, texting while driving is now against the law in Florida. The new ban prohibits a person from sending or reading text messages while driving any motor vehicle. As a second offense, a driver must first be pulled over for some other traffic violation, like running a red light. If the officer notices the driver was using their cell phone at the time, they will also be ticketed for texting.
Our traffic safety team will make this a priority. They are going to be actively looking now for people that are committing this offense.
For a local driver's education center, this isn't the first time texting has been discouraged.
We've been fighting that battle for years. Just quite frankly, don't have a phone in the car or turn it off and put it up, period.
Students learning to drive may be new to the roads, but they are hearing about the consequences of texting behind the wheel.
It's dangerous and it shouldn't be done. My driver's ed instructor actually says, it's the difference between life or death. You could take your eyes off the road and you could be texting and then you can look up and there'd be someone walking across the street and you not know it.
According to the U.S. Department of Transportation, texting takes your eyes off the road for 4.6 seconds. Now, at 55 miles per hour, that's like driving the length of a football field blindfolded. The first offense will result in a $30 fine. A second offense within 5 years will lead to a $60 fine with points off of your license. Jillian Bryn, WUFT News. College. It's an exciting time that's known as being the best 4 years of your life. While parents and students alike are educated about the dangers of drugs, alcohol, and unsafe sex on college campuses, few are aware of another real risk that's responsible for taking young lives. It's a very real danger that typically goes undiscussed.
It's a disaster.
Jamie Lee Marks knows the realities of suicide on campus all too well.
I had heard on, I went on Facebook for 2 minutes that someone had jumped off the stadium. And I didn't even think because he didn't seem upset, that upset.
Ben Hill Griffin Stadium is usually an exciting, upbeat place, especially during weekends of football season. But in April of 2012, instead of athletic excitement, it was suddenly the scene of heartbreak and tragedy.
I got a text message from Michael
She received the message on April 14th, 2012, the night before 26-year-old Michael Edmonds Jr. took his own life by jumping off a staircase at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. He told Jamie,
"I'm having hard times, I need to talk." And I said to him, "I'll call you when I get back tonight."
But Jamie never got the chance to make that phone call.
I had to grade papers for my ENC 1102 class, which is why I just said, I just am so busy. I'm trying to be a girlfriend and a grad student and a friend. I can't do it all.
Life's daily routine kept Jamie busy, not knowing that the very next day, her life would change forever.
A student looked up and said to me, he's like, "Hey, what do you think about this Michael Edmonds Jr. person?" And I said, "Oh my gosh, you know him? I know him." And he's like, "Oh." And I was like, and he's like, "He killed himself." And I couldn't talk. I was shocked. I had no idea.
According to the University of Florida's Counseling and Wellness Center, suicide is the second leading cause of death among college-age students, second only to accidents. Dr. Anthony Green is a psychologist with UFCWC. He says competitive classes, balancing newfound independence, and the fear of failing for the first time are major factors contributing to stress that eventually can turn deadly.
Now everything is threatening. I could fail. I could not get a job. I could not succeed. And for them, that's a new experience and they get overwhelmed and hopeless about it.
Stress and anxiety aren't the only factors that can lead to thoughts of suicide. According to the American Association of Suicidology, there are 4 main warning signs to look out for. First, be aware of any changes in behavior, including expressions like, "it's just not worth it anymore." Also, look for abnormalities, such as sleeping too much or not being able to sleep at all. Lastly, unexpected events like a breakup or intense emotional states, such as rage, can also act as red flags. If you or someone you know is demonstrating any of these warning signs, there are ways to get immediate help.
The Crisis Center picks up every single call that it receives.
Erin Rectanis is a trained volunteer who speaks with people in crises like attempted suicide on a weekly basis. She works at the Alachua County Crisis Center and says the phones have been running nonstop for the past 45 years.
I was listening on the phone and I kept having to remind myself, this isn't a movie and this isn't from a textbook. I'm not hearing this made up story. This is someone's life right now, and it's unbelievable. It's just knowing that people are going through that.
It's more than just a conversation. It's a chance to save someone's life. Something Jamie Lee Marks wishes she had the opportunity to do for her friend Michael.
Even if you can't necessarily be there to say, I really care about you. Had I written him back, not just I'm sorry you're feeling bad, but you're really important to me.
If you or someone you know is battling with thoughts of suicide, call the Alachua County Crisis Center at 352-264-6789. You can also speak with a counselor by visiting www.counseling.ufl.edu. Reporting from UF's Innovation News Center, Jillian Bryn, WUFT News.